Hey guys, I'm back for another video, and today we're doing something a little different. Welcome to the Hypixel SkyBlock Pets tier list. I can't speak. I did this video about, what, 2-3 years ago? And as you can see, I'm recording it live. There's a chat. So hopefully they're going to stop me from making a stupid decision here. But I think now that I've been playing Iron Man for over a year now, I have a pretty good idea of how good and bad all of these pets are. So let's get straight into it. Boom. I have a tier list set up on Tier Maker. Isn't it beautiful? So pets in Hypixel SkyBlock are basically like a little extra piece of equipment. You get some perks. You get some benefits, some of which are necessary to even play the game, if I'm going to be honest. What's that last pet? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the fact that those three down at the bottom are also like bigger than they should be. It's fine. It's fine. Let's start with the Phoenix pet. One of the few pets I don't actually have on Iron Man. I dropped one of these on solo. Completely useless. All of its perks are completely overwritten by the booster cookie. As far as I know, it makes it so that when you die, you don't lose coins. You don't lose potion effects, and it's just bad. The booster cookie completely overwrites it, so we're gonna start off with F. I don't think anybody's going to argue that one. The pet is like, it's worth like 100 million coins as far as I know for the legendary, maybe more than that. Completely useless. Its only use is the pet score, and it's expensive and does nothing for you, so goodbye. Not worth it whatsoever. Scathe the pets. I got RNG carried and dropped one of these at the start of my Iron Man. Gives 100 mining fortune and mining speed. And it gives the, what is that perk? There's a perk that makes it so that it basically breaks extra pieces of hardstone next to it, which is kind of bugged as far as I know. It doesn't work with efficient miner as far as I know. It's good for mithril mining though. It breaks extra titanium blocks nearby, which I think might be a bug because of how Minecraft considers diorite a form of stone. The problem is the pet's really expensive and really rare, and you could get a similar amount of mining fortune from other pets. For example, Bow. We'll talk about Bow in a bit. S. Not S+, it's S. Yeah, the reason being, it will give you 100 mining fortune pretty much everywhere. Very good perk. It's good for mining gold in Mine of Divine. It's good for mining obsidian in the end. Overrate? No, dude. It's the pet to use if you're gonna mine anything that's not in the magma fields. It's very expensive though. I wouldn't say it's worth it for early game, but ooh, you know, that's a good point. Nah, you know what? I think I agree with chat. We're putting it down to A. All right. I think it's only fitting if we talk about Scather that we also talk about Bow Pet. This one is obvious, in my opinion. S+, one of the best pets in the game. The reason being, honestly, nothing about it matters except for the fact that it gives you a ton of mining fortune. I believe it's like, what, 15% when you're in the magma fields, which makes it the best pet in the game for ruby mining, topaz mining. It's not even that expensive, fairly easy to get, and it's just an overall W pet. I don't think I really need to defend that. S+, excellent pet. Ah, the spirit pets. It gives you basically 1 free death in dungeons. It also likes to bug out, and when you leave a dungeon early and come back, that's the pet you have out. And then it makes you die because your pet's incorrect. It does give you a free death in dungeons though. You get like, what? You lose 1 less score or something like that. You do need it, but it's annoying, and it's just, on Iron Man, it's actually kind of annoying to get. But I will admit it's useful. It is a useful pet. Everybody's gonna want one, but they're gonna grumble every time they get kicked out of a dungeon. B. I don't know why, but I like the mining pets right now. Mithril Golem. It's kind of a niche pet, but I don't know, it's cheap and I kind of like it. It has like a few niche uses, one of which would be killing ghosts. It's kind of good if you want to cheese like doing a Blaze Slayer in Crystal Hollows, which is like arguably just as difficult as otherwise, but you do get a stat boost. It's good for cheating a damage test, but it's not a pet you're gonna really be using anywhere other than like honestly killing ghosts. That's about it. That's the only perk you really use it for. I think that puts it at B, because if you're killing ghosts, like a lot of them, like thousands of them, you're gonna want Magic Find, and you don't get Magic Find from that. So I'm almost tempted to go C, honestly. It's a pretty niche pet, but you know, it's cheap, it's easy pet XP, easy SkyBlock pet XP, it's easy SkyBlock XP. We'll keep it. I think a B. How about we rank the B? It gives you 30 of the 3 big fortunes. Up until that update, which is pretty recent, it was kind of useless, I'm gonna be honest. But if you were to put, like, what is it, that gemstone item on it, it's like, it's the only mining pet in the game that's, quote, free. It gives you 30 mining fortune, you put the item on it, it gives it another like 15 or so. It's, yeah, the bejeweled collar. It's not great. It's a budget Skatha. You could use it for farming fortune, but it's just bad. It's like 30 of each. It's easy to get, easy pet XP, even more niche than the Mithril Golem, honestly. Well, maybe not. I would say it's worse. I'd go C. Maybe B. It would be fitting. It is a B pet. No, you know what? For the early game mining fortune boost, I feel inclined to put B at B. Snowman. Rare, expensive, useless. F. It's one of the few pets I haven't gotten on this profile, and it makes me mad. F. I feel inclined to talk about Grandma Wolf for a second. It's a free pet. It's bestiary. It's free Magic Find. And kill combos are just sick. I don't think it belongs anywhere other than S+. It's just a pet everybody should have. Squid Pet. So Squid Pet, you get a increased chance for squids, which is good for Iron Man because you can get the bait ring with it. You can get the spiked atrocity Thanofish with it. It also gives you a fishing XP boost. And with auto pet rolls, you can set on cast hook to your main pet and then on enter combat squid. It's really annoying to drop, though. I just got kicked into the prototype lobby. Less fishing equals good. Yeah, I think I can agree with that. If you're barn fishing and you're trying to get to fishing 27, it'd be nice to have one of these. Honestly, I think it deserves an A. Parrot Pet. It's good for one thing. Oh, you know what? No, it's several things. It'll make your god potions last longer. You don't have to equip it. And you can use it on a mushy glowy tonic or dungeon potions to make them last longer. But honestly, it's all about the god pot. Pretty expensive. Getting it to level 100 is stupid easy, though. It's a bit overpriced for what it does, though, I'm gonna be honest. But less god pot is nice. It'll save you a lot of coins down the line, so it'd probably pay for itself, honestly. I think A. I think Chad agrees with me on that one. Yeah, A. Hound has no uses that I can really think of. I mean, you can get double frags in dungeons from Lost Adventures. Pretty much a completely useless pet, but not as bad as these two, so I feel inclined to give it a D. It's inoffensive. They fixed that. Oh, really? It's not as expensive. I would say D. It's not used for anything, but it's not offensive. It's still bad, though. So, yeah. And to that note, I think Ghoul Pet belongs in the same category, but it's even worse somehow. Jerry. I mean, clearly. No. It's a Jerry pet. It's cheap. It's free pet XP. Doesn't do anything for you, though. D. Now let's talk about a pet that actually deserves to be there. Kudra Pet. Fairly easy to get for the stage of the game it's found in. You just pick it up after 10 Kudra runs. It upgrades automatically. Its perks are always active. And it has a built-in pet XP share. I mean, it gives you like a ton of trophy fishing. I like this pet. It's a good pet. You're never gonna have it equipped, but it's similar to the Grandma Wolf in that way. So S+. Rift Ferret. This one's pretty new. At the moment, it's only maximum epic, so it gives the least pet score out of any pet in the game. And it gives you more XP orbs. And as far as I know, it's bugged. Did they fix it? Does it at least give you more orbs or Titanics? If it gets fixed, then it might be decent, yeah. I could see a use for this. For the experimentation table, you're going to be using it practically every day. I think this might be the first C tier. I believe it works. The thing is, like, you're going to have to splash a Titanic regardless. And it just means less grands to get to, like... I'm going to put it at C. It's not that helpful. You know what is really good to get? It's easy to get. It's one of the best pets in the game, honestly. Do I even need to defend this one? The sheep pet. It makes mage abilities cheaper. It makes it so that you have more mana in general. It's the best pet in the game to put a textbook on. It might be the only one as far as... I don't know. I don't know if you can put textbook on other pets. I know you can't with... anyways. It's a good pet. I like it. S+ is a stretch. How about a high S? Let's do a high S. Reindeer pet. This is a weird one. Reindeer pet's technically the best for fishing on the Jerry Island, right? It gives you sea creature chance. It gives you an increased chance to get winter mobs. It's very niche, but for what it does, it's also the fastest pet to level up in the game. It gets a double pet XP. I do quite like that, but it is very niche. I will admit that. It's not something you're going to be using that often. I'd say it's probably the best B. I'd either give it a low A or a high B personally. I think it deserves a high B. Cat pet. This pet's only good because of a bug. It's the second best pet in the game for Magic Find, and it's the best for bugging out the game and setting your Rancher Boots to 500% speed so that you can mine cactus better and get maximum speed with red sand and mycelium mining. I have a feeling that's going to get fixed at some point. I think it should be here. I think it's... slightly less useful than a parrot. It's better than parrot. Is it though, with all the extra god pot duration? If you're trying to get a dragon pet, maybe. For crafting pets, you know what? Okay, I can agree with that. It's still A, but it's above parrot. Man, people, okay, this might be the first controversial one. I don't think it's that great. I don't think it's S+. I think it's good. I'm moving Scatha to S. We're putting it above... We're putting Scatha above the sheep in S. And then we're going to be moving this here. You know what? Let's cover the farming pets. There's 3 of them. I'm actually doing all 3 of the farming pets right now. Well, all 3 of the good farming pets. Rabbit. Farming XP, honestly, is not really something that I care much for. You're going to be doing so much farming after 50. It's not useful. It's just not. You're going to get farming 50, 60 even. There's so many. You need to get contests to get farming 60. The XP is not even close to a priority. I would put it at a low C. I put it here. Doesn't even give you farming fortune. No. It's easy to max. It's cheap, but it's just not useful. You have elephant. Better. Gives you a lot of farming fortune, the most of any pet in the game. The other perks don't matter. It's only farming fortune. The downside is it's expensive, and it's technically not the pet you're going to want to be using to get the most value out of farming. If you want to get a gold medal in a contest, this is the pet to use, especially with the green bandana. I do quite like it. Historically, it's a pet that I've liked. It's good for contests, yeah. I would say... Is it better than cats? Yes. I think it's better than a cat pet. I will put it in S. Best pet luck on its own goes above elephant. People dislike cats. It is the internet. You know what? For the sake of the internet, we're swapping it. I'm not going to try and argue this with anybody. This is just an S tier pet. I would say better than these two, honestly. Mushroom cow. If you're going to be farming, especially for a space helmet, you're gonna be using this so far into the game. You have plus 100 farming fortune specifically for mushroom, on top of having like close to the max in the game anyways compared to elephant. And you get a ton of farming fortune, you get a ton of shrooms, and when paired with bountiful, that's when you get the most value out of farming. Chad has a point. It is very cheap. It is very cheap. I would say it's better than Scatha. Yes. I would say yes. All right, still S plus, but at the end. Rat pet. Super annoying to get, super rare, gives you like 3 magic find if you help someone else. This might make some people mad. I am not backing down from this. Sorry. It's D. Tied D, but it's still D. I don't like this pet. Sorry, Swavy. This one hurts my soul. Armadillo. Oh, this used to be an S tier. S plus even. This used to be one of the best pets in the game. But it got nerfed. This was the best pet in the game for mining because you could essentially use it to spin around and break a ton of gemstones with unlimited energy and get 100 million coins an hour. 200 million if you weren't a skill issue like me. It was so good. And now we have Hybridillo, which is still better than regular mining, but it's still bad. Let's acknowledge that Hybridillo mining does exist. It exists. It's technically the best mining setup in the game. It's not better than Skather though. I would say it probably belongs here. It's cheap. You can get level 100 legendary so easily, but its nerf really knocks it down. I would say it belongs here. You can use it to get Flamebreaker armor, which isn't terrible. B? No. Yeah, it's a part of the best mining method in the game still, despite being nerfed to the ground. I think A is fine. Oh, you know what is really good though? Enderman pet. I'm not debating anybody on this. This is, I would say, this is an S plus right here, Enderman pet, because it gives you the most combat XP against Enderman. It gives you an increased chance for summoning eyes, which on Iron Man is a godsend. It gives you a good amount of crit damage, actually. If you get a common one, you can really get some good early game damage. Yeah, I mean, this, I'm not debating anybody on this. That's S plus. It's one of the best pets in the game. All right, let's reel it back into something we can agree on. Yeah. I'd say yeah. There used to be some exploits where you could break other people's crops on their private island, which sucked, by the way. I hated that. It's annoying. Jerry's cheaper? You're right. It's a farming pet that doesn't give farming fortune, and it just breaks crops around you super slowly. No more debate. That's where it's staying. Rock pet. It has some niche uses that I kind of like. It has some that I don't like. It is a way to kind of cheese the game a little bit to make some money in the early game, and then pay it forward later and pay back more. It's a free pet. It's a free 10 mil if you were to use a cobble generator on your island. Not a bad trade-off, honestly. 10 mil in the early game is worth far more than the 30 mil you'll pay later on to get it back for the pet score. I do quite like that. What I don't like is people sitting on it to use Frozen Blaze and automatically kill crap. That was annoying, but I'm pretty sure it's patched now. It also is good for throwing snowballs during the Jerry Festival, I guess. I think it does deserve to be B. Right here. I think it should be a B tier pet. Just because of the money. It's good for getting money early game. Ooh, this might be a controversial one. Lion pet. I like Lion pet a lot because it increases the... First of all, there's several reasons I like the pet. One of which, first strike and triple strike, massive increase in damage, which makes it really good for one-tapping mobs that you otherwise couldn't one-tap. I do like that. It also gives you increased damage against mobs that have attacked you already, which is a massive W for Slayers. Almost the same damage as the best damage pet in the game in the first few hits. But it's a foraging pet, which means leveling it is terrible. It's very expensive. It's like 20 million. I think it belongs in the A tier. I would say it's the best A tier pet. I think that's fair. Low S, debatable. Yeah, it could go either way, honestly. I wouldn't be mad either way. Let's tackle the other foraging pets. Let's get them out of the way. Ocelot. Granted, this video is recorded before the foraging update, so maybe these are excellent. I don't know. Ocelot pet. Less foraging is always good. We all hate foraging. Do you really want to be using it, though? That's the problem. If you were to have the auto pet rules and really sweat with like a fishing rod with the auto pet rules, I'm gonna put it at C. Only because we have monkey pet. It makes it so that the tree capitator has less of a cooldown, and that's the only perk that really matters, if I'm gonna be honest. You get some speed, which is nice, I guess, But foraging as a skill just sucks. You need both of them? Sure, if you're a massive sweat, which I'm not. It's technically the best pet in the game for foraging, but no one likes foraging. I think it belongs here. Best B tier pet. It's like as average as pets go. And then that brings us to giraffe. None of its perks are relevant. It doesn't do anything good. It's expensive. It's annoying to upgrade. F. That I'm giving that F. Honestly, that's not as bad as these two, but it's still bad. F. Endermite. I kind of like Endermite. It used to be super helpful when armadillo mining, because if you were to constantly AOTV around or ether warp around, it reduces all transmission abilities by 40%, which is nice. I kind of like that. It gives you more stuff when you're salvaging. So let's say you killed 100 dragons and you're going to salvage everything. That's not bad. It's pretty cheap. It's made with endstone, isn't it? I mean, just for the fact that it's the pet to use while salvaging makes me kind of like it. It's not better than monkey, and it's not better than reindeer. Is it better than spirit pet? No. That's the most average pet in the game, I guess. It's right in the middle of B. Yeah, there we go. Let's keep it at B. Let's do bat pet. Spooky Festival. The Fang item that makes it mythic is useless. I mean, it's inoffensive now that it doesn't take up the pet slot, but like, you're not going to use it to fish. You're just not. It gives you more damage against spooky mobs. It gives you more candy. Spooky Festival doesn't really, it's not relevant late in the game. It's nice. You should have one. It's kind of niche. Is this another? This is like battle of the mids right now. We're putting so many B tier pets. I think I would also put it around the same spot as Endermite, honestly. I think I'd put it a little above. Let's liven things up a little bit and let's tackle the fishing pets now. The good fishing pets. Ammonite. I'm not going to argue anybody on this for plenty of reasons. I think it deserves to go either here or here. I want to say here. This is an S+ pet. Ammonite's good because it gives you a lot of sea creature chance, which is like very essential. I would think this is if you're not good at fishing and you're underground, if you're fishing for worm membranes, if you're in the volcano, if you're in the crystal hollows, you're absolutely going to want this because it gets rid of that thing where your fishing speed halves when you're underneath a block, when you're not showing the sunlight. It makes worm fishing possible. It does, but I will acknowledge that its usefulness drops off a cliff as soon as you get Magma Lord armor. Is it better than Skada or Sheep? No. I'm moving it here. Its usefulness drops off a cliff. Trust me, chat. When you get Magma Lord armor and you have like a lot of magical power and you could just get 100% sea creature chance without Marina in lava, Hellfire Rod, you're going to want to use a flying fish. I'm putting that at S+. There we go. It's the best pet in the game for trophy fishing. It's the best pet in the game for fishing in general. Once you have the best stuff, we have this garbage. The jellyfish pet, the healing pet. Does anyone actually use this? I don't. It's easy to get level 100, kind of expensive. Dark auction pet. Not a big fan. Dungeon pots? Oh, people are using it. Oh, hello. Okay, this is where I get educated. All right, so what's it do? People use in dungeons. What's it do to a dungeon pot? Is it basically like, do you drink it as you drink the potion? It's good for master mode. Buffs the potion by 50%. Do you have to have the pet out all the time though? Or is it just when you drink the potion? When you drink it. Okay. So this one, I learned something. This one actually has a use. You know, I don't represent the dungeon sweats, but apparently my chat does. So in honor of chat, I think we're going to put it here. I would have put it in F personally because I didn't know that people could use it for that. So I guess it's a good thing I did this live. Let's just leave it there. Maybe once I play some master mode, I'll come to appreciate jellyfish pet. You know what? Another dark auction pet. Turtle. It's a free shelmet. Who cares? It has high defense. That's cool. It's like a budget Yeti. I'm going to put it in C, I think. I think chat agrees. This is just not a good pet. Like, shelmets are plentiful. Let's talk about dolphin, actually. Yeah, speaking of fishing pets. This used to be the best fishing pet in the game until they did the rework. Yeah, dolphin pet's not good. It would give you more fishing speed depending on the amount of people nearby, but it's just not. It's a free pet, though. Pet score, I guess. But, like, no. you're not gonna use it. Dolphin pet is low-key useless. Speaking of low-key useless, let's throw a couple other pets into the D tier, shall we? Actually, maybe another F tier. Zombie pet? I feel like I'd be doing it dirty putting it at F. Because, like, F is for pets I actively hate. I don't think I hate zombie pet, but it just doesn't have a use. So I think that's D. What else is, like, in a similar vein? It's just not helpful at all. Oh, here we go. Horse pet. Skeleton horse pet. You want to save 5,000 coins and bug your way into the Howling Caves? These are the pets for you. You want to get a really easy high score in the Dungeon Hub races? Above Snowman? No, these aren't F tier. They do have some purpose. I think rat pet in like rare, just because Toadstar got a core from a rat pet, I feel inclined to put these two below it. Just because that event happened. The thing is with rat pets, it's like an RNG drop is so rare to begin with, and as far as I know, it's random which player it takes. So like the odds of actually sharing someone's RNG drop is so low. Unless you literally force it in a private hub to get a Warden Heart, maybe. All right, let's talk about a good pet now. We've gone through enough bad ones. Let's talk about a good pet. Guardian. Once you get the drop from Vampire Slayer, it gives you a higher chance for T7 books, which is awesome. I love that. It gives you intelligence. Its Mage Beam is not terrible. It's like a budget cheap. I quite like this pet, actually. It's relatively cheap for what it does. You're going to want to use it at all stages of the game, including endgame. I think right there would make the most sense. Even though it's not a better mage pet than sheep, it's the best and only enchanting pet. And T7 books, I personally have dropped like a half dozen of them, some of which are really good. Snipe 4, Power 7. I got a Protection 7, I think, maybe. I don't remember. Tarantula pet. I think this one's slept on, personally. It's the best pet in the game for Spider Slayer. It's cheap. It's practically free. You can get it by accident just by fighting arachnids. I kind of like that. 40% combat XP is nothing to sneeze at. I do quite like it. It is pretty slept on in my opinion. So I think I'm gonna put it in... Spider Slayer's not a long grind for the record. It's like 12 hours max. If you're doing it during Aatrox, it's like 8 hours. I think it deserves to be somewhere around A. Not as good as like an Armadillo. I think it should be like A. It's a good pet. I do quite like it. It's already easy to spawn. That's a good point. It takes an easy grind and makes it even easier. You know what? Chat has skewed my opinion. I think it belongs in the mids. Griffin pet. Okay, you're in the early game. You just started. You need a pet that gives you some decent damage buffs and is cheap. You can get it if the timing is right, you can get it very quickly. Get upgraded all the way to legendary. Suddenly you can get Chimera books, you can get Shelmets, you can get Tiger plushies. Does really good damage. The damage benefit kind of gets cut off a little bit when you start getting to the point where you have God potions. That strength doesn't really matter anymore. But it is still a really solid pet. It's basically the only pet you can use for Diana for mythological. This might make some people mad. Yep, not bad. Okay. All right, let's get Wolf Pet out of the way. We talked about combat XP boost for making Slayers faster, right? With Tarantula, we talked about with Enderman Pet. For everything else, for Revs, Svens? For Revs and Svens, it's a solid pet. You can use it before you get Enderman to Mythic. You can use it before you get... I mean, you're going to get a Tarantula pet really easy. You can use it for Blaze before you get a Wisp. Overall, not a bad pet. It's cheap. Wisp is very expensive. So honestly, I think it's better than Ammo Knight, but not Griffin. It's either an A or an S. It's anywhere from here to here. I think I like that spot. Right there. Not touching it. Right there. You know what? I was thinking about this. Lion Pet being an A... I do quite like the damage benefits, but then I remembered that Tiger Pet exists. The ferocity, quite nice. Kind of useless on Enderman, though. I don't think Blazes are affected by it either. It's very good for the classic 3 Slayers, though. I would say Tiger's better than Lion. It's good DPS, but it's just outclassed later in the game for damage. I would say right here. I think A above lion. Anyone remember when Pets v1 came out and me and Brandon Crafter were pooling our resources together to produce the first super enchanted egg? The chicken pet. Completely useless now. It's a cheap pet, inoffensive, I guess. It makes you get eggs faster. I'd say it's another D. I don't think it deserves an F. It's just kind of useless. I'd say it's more useful than those. I'm gonna need chat's help on these two. Golem pet and magma cube. Let's start with Golem. I don't know much about this pet. Every like 4 hits or so, it used to kill players, which is kind of funny. It just launches things up in the air. Gives some damage, I think. I think it's like ignored by the admins. I don't think there's any real place for it. It doesn't really do a whole lot. I just don't see a purpose for it. I think C tier. I think, yeah, below turtle. And magma cube. It's helpful if you AFK on your island to get a 30% buff to your magma cube minions, I suppose, or slime minions, or both. But like, it promotes AFKing, which I hate. I don't think any pet should promote AFKing. It buffs damage as well, so not horrible. Profoundly useless. I think it also deserves C. Perhaps slightly more useful than Golem pet. Skeleton pet. This one used to be kind of overpowered. It's good as like an archer pet, I guess, if you're poor. If you don't have a good damage pet in dungeons, I guess. I almost feel inclined to put it here. Another C tier pet. We're really rounding out this list now. Everything's starting to get pretty even. Ocelot better? I guess. Yeah, fine. It's a budget pet, but just get a good pet. We can make money in this game. Like, getting reflection books in Rift and selling them in the AH will get you so much money. You could just, like, there's ways to make money. Turtle better? I agree. I agree, actually. You're right. Silverfish. Haste 3, everywhere. Kinda nice if you don't have god potions, or if you're in dungeons and want to ghost pick more effectively. More mining XP. Kinda outclassed in most departments. You don't really need mining XP unless you're like really early game. You can redeem commissions with it. It's alright. I don't think it's that useful though. It's a pet you're not going to be using anymore once you get past certain stages of the game. The thing is, people really like it for the mining XP, but you get mining 60 so easily. Here. Wither skeleton. Good for floor 7. It's a decent DPS pet, actually. I don't know if it's quite to the level of tiger. Is it comparable to tiger and lion? I'd say like here. Mining pet, easy to get level 100. Yeah, I like that. Megalodon. I remember Refraction using it one time to Daedalus Axe swap for Magic Find for whatever reason. To do like 25% more damage if it's weak. I don't know. I don't think people use it for that anymore. They're very common. You can sell them. It's nice when you're doing a festival and you just sell it for a free coin. But I think for that reason it's better than those two. You get some free money every festival. Oh, why did I do tarantula and not spider pet? It makes spider minions more efficient, but you have to be online for it to be used, which makes it pretty much useless. I guess maybe like here. Imagine, well, does it work on tarantula minions though? If it works on tarantula minions, it does? Okay, I think it deserves to go there then. Tarantula minions are kind of goated actually, in Iron Man at least. There we go. That's a good spot. Snail pet, it recently got fixed. It gives you mining fortune on blocks that don't have mining fortune, including gravel, which does have mining fortune. That 100 speed sucks, but it's the only way to really efficiently get red sand and mycelium. Fairly easy to get max fortune with this thing. It probably is better than squid, actually. No, it is. It is. Fair. You know what? Fine. There. I'm putting it at A. That's as high as it's going. Ooh, Yeti pet. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't use that one. I didn't use Yeti that much. It gives a lot of defense. If you're gonna, I don't know, for Void Glimpse, you're better off with Enderman. For floor 7, it's probably better than Wither Skelly, but not by much. Master mode? I haven't tried it in master mode. It's a fishing pet, which makes it really suck to level up. It's super expensive and rare. I need people to give the case for master mode. I haven't tried it in master mode. I don't like it that much. It's kind of overrated in my opinion. There's other pets that are better for effective health. There's other pets that are better for damage. It's kind of like middle of the road for both. Blue whale. This one probably deserves to be placed alongside the Yeti. And it's slightly better. It's good for fire trial. I like it for that. Is it like the de facto pet for tanks? I don't play tank in dungeons, so I think the tanks need to rise up. Best for EHP in dungeons. Really? No, it's horrible? Stop it. The idea that Yeti has more damage and slightly worse EHP kind of makes me want to put whale below Yeti. You either want damage or EHP. Yeti gives both, whale goes down. You know what? Fine. That. Not touching it. That's where it stays. You can sell Skelly Horse. True. Swapping those. This is when things get really interesting. After this pet. As far as I know, Pigman Sword hasn't been meta since like 2019. This pet's not useful. It's kind of expensive too with the pork. I'd say C. Maybe better than these? And maybe this. Okay. I left the best for last. These are the pets that people have the strongest opinions on, in my opinion. Maybe not Wisp. Let's get rid of Wisp first. This one doesn't... I don't think this is a very strong opinion. Technically, as far as I know, the best pet for spawning Blaze Slayers because it gives the combat XP boost. But it's extremely expensive. It's the only pet in the game you level a Gabagool. It's so expensive. I don't even know half of its perks. I feel like the pet would be really good if it wasn't so freaking expensive. I don't even know how expensive. 5 bill? I don't know, man. You know what? Death Streaks, I am giving you, and only you, the chance to rank this pet in my tier list. D, it's a really good pet. It just costs 5 billion. In other words, no one's gonna use it. Without the price tag, easy S. So maybe here. Now let's do something a little easier, shall we? Yeah, it costs a bill. Yeah, you need... Well, it costs 500 mil plus every perfect. Yeah, you need a bill. You can still spend the bill. Yeah, you need to get 100 million gold collection, but it's the best pet in the game for magic find, best pet in the game for damage. It's just a good pet. I have this pet out almost all the time. Now that I have one of my Iron Man, I use it every day. It's just, yeah, best pet in the game. Easy. And it's better than this. Dragon pet is just excessively expensive. It's less expensive than this. It's like the Walmart brand Golden Dragon, the Ender Dragon. It's okay. I still don't have one of my Iron Man. Iron Man players don't like it. Regular players probably do like it. Once you get a Golden Dragon, you're probably never going to use an Ender Dragon. It's only useful for M7 and E-Man Slayer. So once you get a G-Dragon, you're never going to use an Ender Dragon. I put it here. I kind of like Skatha more. If I'm going to be honest, at least I'll be using it farther along. It's kind of funny. They look almost the same too. I'm putting it below Skatha. Screw it. And then Blaze Pet. Double Hot Potato Books. Good for Frozen Blaze. Not used that much. Very expensive. I don't personally use it. Like, who uses Blaze Pet other than when you have Frozen Blaze? Like, when you're pet locked to Frozen Blaze, this is the pet you're locked with. Best pet for the best armor. Here we go. Here's the debate. Oh, people are not gonna like this. I'd rather not get locked with a specific armor and pet, thank you very much. For the price and the fact that you're just not gonna use it ever. Alright, fine. I'll give a real answer. Alright, fine. I'll give it a real answer. It is the top of B tier. Fair? I think that's fair. It's better than these, but it's not better than these. King Pet S++. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how this one got into the tier list. It just appeared there. There was a PNG in the folder. There's the tier list. And there you have it. And there you have it, chat. Slightly influenced by chat, I would say. For all the people watching the video on YouTube later, hello. Hopefully you enjoyed this whole thing. Did you sit through like an hour-long video plus of me ranking PNGs in a block game? That's impressive. But anyways, I guess that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys later.